Hi and welcome back. Please try to ignore the lighting changes and the chaos that's happening back here. I only have a ring light upstairs now. I'm still adjusting from the flooding, so this is a lot of our stuff that was downstairs before. It's kind of shoved behind the downstairs couch that's now in the upstairs living room. So there's a lot going on. We're also just getting back from a family vacation in Muskoka, Ontario. Absolutely beautiful. It was actually a bucket list little trip. We kind of decided to go on a whim, which is very against my Capricorn nature, but it tends to be how I am in everyday life, which is kind of odd, but I really like to just have an idea and go with it, which I'm pretty lucky to be able to do, and I recognize that. So yeah, Friday morning I woke up and I was like, it's the last weekend before back to school. What should we do? And I was like, hey, let's just go. So I booked the hotel room. We were there for just the weekend. The only downside to that is that I didn't necessarily pack accordingly because I was just doing it last second. And also, yeah, I didn't book anything in advance. A lot of things do fill up. But nonetheless, we still got to check it out. We did a pedal boat. We went out on the water. We did a lot of walking around. We got to eat at some nice restaurants. Nothing too crazy because again, I didn't bring anything fancy enough because we are sweats kind of people, my whole family. So yeah, we were pretty casual compared to some of the attire that most people wear there because it's apparently comparable to the Hamptons in New York. So it's a little bit more hoity-toity and love that, but we needed an outfit to kind of match. So next year when we go, we're definitely going to plan a little bit more ahead and prepare some cuter outfits so that we can do some of the extra things. But yeah, all that aside, I wanted to kind of talk about how you can prepare yourself as somebody who's considering becoming a single mom by choice. I know I kind of touch on these things a lot and day in the life type things, but I want to talk a little bit more in depth about how you can prepare for this life, what to really expect. And yeah, I have some notes just so I don't miss anything because I have ADHD also, so I kind of go off on tangents if you haven't already noticed. And the fact that you're still here, I appreciate you, love you, you're my favorite. But yeah, I want to talk about just the emotional and mental resilience that you have to have, or at least develop. Not something that I had before, truly. I mean, I like to think that I was able to just kind of ignore negative comments, but some things did get to me for sure. I am a human being, as are you. So I'm not saying that you have to be completely dead inside and have no emotions, no big feelings about things or things that people say. But it's not only about that, the ideas and the judgments of others or the opinions of others or what other people have to say and whatever. It's not necessarily just that. It's about kind of the beliefs that we have within ourselves. And yeah, as a single mom, you have to be ready to just bounce back. Your kids are depending on you and you're the leader, right? They're looking up to you. Picture yourself when you were small, who were you looking up to? It was the adults around you, right? To kind of guide you and to let you know that all's good or whatever. So it's important that you are emotionally resilient and just you are able to thrive in a situation that might be different than the people around you. Now, there are some single moms who struggle with loneliness. It's not really something that I myself have experienced. I kind of have not a busy life, but I always kind of have people around. My best friend is really close. She lives maybe 20 minutes from me. We see each other all the time. She's really active with my kids and she's just a part of our family. She's basically my sister. My brother is always around. I always, my kids are always, I have 2 kids. So I don't feel lonely. I'm someone who can thrive in, I'm an introvert. I love me a stay home evening. And I've always been that way. I mean, maybe not as a teenager for a bit there, but for the most part, canceled plans and I'm staying home in my sweats, chef's kiss. I am not upset about that. Now, for people who are a little bit more extroverted or maybe really love going out and going out frequently, of course, that will be a little bit more challenging, because then of course you have to plan for childcare, unless you're finding activities that your kids can go to too, unless maybe you have a group of girlfriends or friends that also have kids, so you guys kind of do like taking turns of watching the kids and one of you stays back or whatever. Of course there's ways around it. But again, if you're someone who loves to go out and have that kind of a lifestyle, that's something that of course you have to consider. And I mean, there will be times, I'm sure, that you won't be able to partake in the outing. So you might have FOMO, if kids are still saying that, I don't know. The fear of missing out, or feeling kind of like bummed that you're missing out on an event. It's bound to happen as a mom, that you have to just decline or cancel. And that can be tough, again, if you're somebody that loves that life, going out and partying, or, you know, you don't want to miss the barbecue or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be like you're going to raves or anything. It could be whatever, you know, your lifestyle is now. There's a chance it's going to change. But again, there are so many moms that I've been able to connect with that are women that brunch, that are women that are going out to these events and all these things all the time, and they're bringing their kids. Like, they love to go to brunch with their girlfriends and their kids come. And they like to go to the park and walk through the park in New York or whatever, and this is their vibe, and it's very fancy, and get a coffee and blah, 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 and walk and talk, and the kids come. And that's okay too. Like, you can really adapt. And like they say, like a lot of the European women that I've been able to connect with, which love you guys, please have me over. You guys have a different lifestyle in a lot of places where kids go everywhere. Like, I'm in Canada. North American culture is a lot different in that kids are kind of viewed as like an inconvenience. And I don't agree with that, but it's like they're kind of like cramping your style. Like, I used to do this and I used to do that. Now I have kids and, you know, I can't do that anymore. It sucks or whatever. But the reality is it is what you make it, truthfully. And I believe that too. So if you like to go out and do those things, bring the kids with you. Like, just, you have to adjust. You have to be willing to kind of bend. And that can be hard because we are all creatures of habit. But yeah, if you're somebody who's thinking about being a single mom by choice, it's because you want to be a mama. And if you want to be a mama, you're going to figure it out. And there's going to be times where it's tough, but that's why your emotional resilience, and you know, you can do this. Now, I just want to briefly touch on the fact that if you are somebody that is like, you are a mom now and you are struggling with that, you need to find somebody. You need to, you know, whether it's online or whatever, or find therapist or somebody that you could speak to if you're really, really struggling, instead of struggling alone. There's new studies that are showing that parents, and this isn't just single moms, parents in general, more specifically moms, and that's with or without a spouse, are incredibly, incredibly stressed out because we have so much to do. There's so much pressure on us. There's so much, we have these like ridiculous standards that we place on ourselves and others. And with a list of responsibilities a mile long, it can be a lot. And if you are somebody who's feeling that pressure and feeling really bogged down, I want you to just reach out. Even if it's to me, I'm not a certified psychologist or anything, but just to have another mom to be like, dude, this is tough, or whatever it is, I've got you, because we're all living it together, okay? But yeah, that's essentially it when it comes to just, you need to be able to bend. You're gonna need to be able to be a little bit resilient. There are things that are tougher when you're doing it on your own. And they're the things that you can really think of, like you're doing it on your own. And it's funny because I actually thought about it, like it was Riley's first day of school today. So bringing her to school, I was like, oh shoot, what if it's Leo's first day of school? Because she's gonna go to high school when he's still in elementary, right? When he starts. And that's primary school here. I know other people have different names for it in different countries, whatever. For us, like she's gonna go to a different school and then he's gonna be there. So how am I gonna do both at the same time? And then I was like, oh, but also with my kids and with most kids I see, they want mom. Even if you're together, right? Even if you have a partner or whatever, it's like, well, I want mom to come. Mom's gonna come with me. Mom's gonna come with me. Like I was like that with my mom. But then I was remembering that when I was small, my parents were still together, and I don't think my parents ever came to a first day of school drop off, ever. I took the bus and that was it. And my parents were together. There was two people. that could have come, and neither of them did. Like, that was just what it is. You got on the bus, they said bye in the morning, love you, see you, and I survived. Of course, would it have been cooler if somebody was there? Sure, but I didn't know any different, right? There was some kids whose parents did that. My parents didn't do that. My parents had their own business. My parents were working. My parents were busy. So because of that, like, I didn't feel any kind of way about it because that was my norm. And my parents didn't make a big fuss about it either. Like, so because of that, I didn't realize that I was missing something, I guess. So it's the same way it's gonna have to be with my kids. I'll have to figure it out, or one's gonna go later, or however it works. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, you have to be willing to bend, and that's just the reality of motherhood in general. Now, financial stability, this is something that I've talked about quite a bit in other episodes. I feel like it kind of goes without saying that you need to be able to provide for your children. No kidding. I hear a lot of, like, life is so expensive right now and whatever, which I don't disagree. I just don't like to have that kind of a vocabulary. I like to think that I'm taken care of. I have an abundant life. We always have food in the fridge. We're very blessed. We're very lucky. I'm always provided for and taken care of is kind of the dialogue that I always kind of have going on with myself. And because of that, I've always kind of remained lucky and abundant because I believe that I am an abundant person. So, like we've talked about in the previous episodes about manifestation and all those things, you have the power to feel that way. However, there are steps that you have to take, of course, if financially you're not in the position that you want to be in to be able to bring in kids, especially if you're going to be doing IUI, IVF, you're using donor sperm, all of those things. Of course, those come with a nice little price tag. So it's not necessarily something that everybody can do or can do right now in the situation that they're in financially. So yes, you need to plan. Yes, you need to budget. Yes, you need to sit down and crunch those numbers and do all that, like, boring math stuff. But it's important. And the more you have a handle on your finances now, today, starting right now, the better you are setting yourself up for in the future, right? So these are things that we're covering a little bit in the free guide, which you can check out below, the financial empowerment guide that I created for you. But yeah, we are going like deep dive hard in the new program that's coming up. You can join the wait list for that below. And it's really just going to be a program for you to thrive in all areas of your life as a single mom. If you are choosing to become a single mom by choice, maybe you're not a mom yet. Maybe you're somebody who is already a single mom by choice or otherwise, separation or loss or whatever it is. It's really something that's being developed. I'm almost done. I'm just doing some final tweaks on it, that is created for you to live your best life. Like, we live one time. We have children or are hoping to have children, planning to have children, and we want the best for them. And because of that, we have to put in the work. And I say work because it is, right? You need to be willing to do some of these practices and these things that are inside of the program. You're gonna have homework, you have things you have to implement. That's nothing crazy. We're not going to stage up here or college or university, or again, other regions call it different things. We're not going to get a doctorate, but you are gonna have to implement some of the rules and some of the homework to really create change over time. And it's important that you do so. Because yeah, I was somebody who was struggling for a long time outside of my separation. I was just, again, trying to keep my head above water for a really long time. And it was awful and it was really scary. And I was so afraid of being a stigma, fitting into the whole struggling single mom category. And there's no shame in that. I mean, the fact that I was able to pull myself out of that situation is something that I'm proud of. I was able to expand my family, something I'm really proud of. And yeah, I want that for you. I was able to bring my kids to the Northern Hamptons this weekend. Are you kidding? Where Victoria Beckham, the Beckhams, David Beckham and their family were actually there this weekend. I just saw it on her Instagram stories or whatever, like the day after we got back, which I was like, wait, that's crazy. But yeah, like, I've been able to really turn things around and create things because I believe in myself, and I believe in my little family, and I believe in you. I believe that, like, I want to create an army of single moms that are just kicking ass unapologetically in all areas of our lives, because why not? Like, there's so, like, oh, you know, you hear these women like, oh, my man, he's great. He's this, and this for us. He's the daddy of the family. He's the this. And like, if it wasn't for him, I don't know where we would be. He's like our savior, blah, blah, blah. He's our hero. He's our rock. When I look at families, a lot of times, like girlfriends' families or the families around me and my family, whatever, the mama's always the rock. Okay? Always, okay? But a lot of times she doesn't get that praise, right? Now, if you're a mama who's doing it on your own, again, whether you're out here seeking it by becoming a single mom by choice, and whatever your reasons are, love you for it. Or if you are like me with my first, by separation, divorce, whatever, you deserve to thrive. You deserve to be living a good life and being really happy and teaching your kids how they can stand on their own and how they can lean on mom no matter what when they need to, even when they're older, you know, because mama's the rock. So I want you to be thriving. I want you to be living your best life. You deserve it. So I'm here to support you. Join the waitlist, grab the freebies below. You can check out other previous episodes, podcast episodes. I have tons of stuff on my Instagram too. Check that out. I'm here to see you win, and text me, DM me, whatever. Some of you have my number too, but DM me, email me, whatever, just your wins or the things that you're working on, or, you know, the things that you're hoping for. Like, I get a lot of, okay, I'm going in to see my fertility doctor. I'm so excited. I'm freaking nervous. I can't believe I'm doing this. And even that, like, I love reading that. I'm not able to answer everybody all the time. I am honestly overwhelmed with the DMs. So if you can email me, that's really just like the preferred way, because it's easier for me to just keep track of them, because spam just gets, you know, switched to the side. But yeah, I want to hear your wins. I want to cheer you on. Go in the Facebook group, Single Mom Mindset Facebook group, message on there, DM me there. It's a little easier. But yeah, I want to see you win. Okay. So you need to be emotionally resilient, mentally resilient, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. No matter where you're at on your journey, it takes strength and courage to ask for help. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Okay. You need to be financially stable. We need to get that stuff in order. I don't care where you're starting right now. Even people that are making an incredibly large income can be financially illiterate and, you know, just making a paycheck and that's it, and not know anything else about how to diversify your income and your portfolio and all these things. And a lot of that is like, what are you talking about? Sounds like a whole nother language. I hear you. I felt the same way too. But again, there's ways as a single mom, I don't care what your income is, there is a way to help you thrive and bring in more money, okay? So that's important. And lastly, oh, there's a little bit more than that, but you're getting support. Now, there are some of us that have great families who support us no matter what. There are those of us who do not. There are those of us who don't really have a network around us whatsoever, and that's a shame. But I believe it is essential to have a community. It's essential to have at least one person in your court, you know, just backing you up, that you can lean on, that you can cry with, that you can scream into a pillow with, whatever it is. And I think, again, so many people believe that a village is this huge amount of people, and, you know, you've got 14 girlfriends that are at your beck and call, and you've got, you know, a tight-knit family and 15 siblings, and your parents are involved, and yada yada. And for many of us, that's not the reality. So I think when we remain open-minded about what our village could look like, or our support system, our community, it kind of allows blessings to come in. Like, you might find somebody inside of the Facebook group, the private community that is inside of my programs, all of those things that you can connect with other women, other moms that are on this similar journey, that are just gonna get you. Like, again, I'll get messages and I'm like I see you, I get you, like, we're in sync. Like, I hear you, I can understand and feel like what you're going through, and I'm here for you. Like, I'm cheering you on, and it's really important to have that. So even if it's online, even if you make a Facebook group for local single moms, whatever it is, or women in their 30s, whatever it is, women 35 to 45, I don't care, okay, 40 to 50, whatever, and try to connect. And even if the majority of your relationship with these people are online, everything's online now. So it's better than being completely on your own. But yeah, be willing to adapt, and I guess that's all of motherhood, right? Just be willing to bend. The more you're willing to bend, the better, and you're gonna be good. You're gonna thrive. But yes, I wanted to touch on some early challenges that are likely to arise if you're choosing to become a single mom by choice, more specifically, or if you're in the early stages of being a single mom. Now, for me, there was a lot of like, how am I gonna manage everything that's on my plate? I mentioned before, I have ADHD. I get flustered very easily. I don't like being like disrupted when I'm doing something, because if I'm having like a thought happening and I get, kids are like, Mommy, I need a snack. That is really challenging for me because I'm not good at shifting back and forth. Now, I know that about myself, and because of that, right now while I'm filming this content, my best friend is outside with Leo because Riley's at school, and I asked her, can you help me, just give me like an hour just to really focus on my work, get it done, get this content done for my girlies, and if you could just like chill with Leo. She's like, yeah, of course, no problem. Rock. That is a rock. That is somebody that I need, I love, and appreciate her support. And it makes my life as a mom and as a business owner and as a mentor a million times easier because of the ADHD. I'm able to just do what I need to do. Now, when I was working in corporate, there were times where I'd have to say, hey, Mom, can you please go pick up Riley because I'm working late? Or I have an appointment right after work, I'm strapped, please help me. I have to go to physio because my busted shoulder. Again, if you've been around for a while, you know I have an issue with my shoulders. But yeah, so just, you have to, it's a balancing act. It's something that no mom has down perfectly. We're all kind of figuring these things out as we go. As I said already 15 times, like, you need to be able to just bend. You need to be able to go with the flow a little bit. I mean, having a regimen definitely helps. Having some kind of a schedule definitely helps. I know that helps me when I have my day kind of planned out, and I don't, I make it a point to not have everything like in permanent ink. It needs to go this way, because I used to do that, and I would struggle if something would go out of that time slot or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, and again, my ADHD, I would get very flustered, I would get very frustrated, and I would just lose focus, and I'd be like, I give up for the day. And because of that, it was like a detriment to my own success and to my own happiness and whatever. So I have a pretty decent schedule down, but I'm also comfortable with bending. And yeah, that's truly the key, I think, is being regimented, but also flexible, I guess. And that's really in all areas of your life, but especially motherhood, because kids, they can kind of push you out of your comfort zone sometimes and kind of, push you off to, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. I'm distracted. See, ADHD. But yeah, they can kind of push you off your routine a little bit, and you have to be willing to just roll with it, because that's kids. Wait until you have one, if you don't already, when nap is at this time and it's like we're doing okay, we've got about 2 weeks of nap and we're nailing the nap, it's good, and then all of a sudden that's not when they're napping anymore, they're fighting it for a week, and you're like, what is happening, oh my god. But again, it's part of the gig, right? And really, I think that's a lot of what I wanted to touch on. Again, if there's something specific that you would like me to talk about in depth in one episode of the podcast or YouTube, like really get into the emotional resilience, how you could do those things, how you can really jam pack your finances and really, start thriving financially. If you really want to get into time management, the scheduling that I use, meal planning that I use, grocery shopping, all these things that I try to keep on top of. Let me know whatever things you're kind of dealing with, any questions that you have, let me know. Again, I have a new program. It's coming out next week, hopefully maybe the week later after. And it's all about how to thrive as a single mom, take care of you, your money, your kids, your home, your life, all of the good things that you need to just thrive as a single mom, independent mama, independent lady. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. Join the wait list so you're among the first to know. There's going to be yummy little discounts and bonuses included there if you're early to join. And yeah, otherwise grab the free resources below. There's a financial empowerment one. There's another one, an essential checklist to becoming a confident single mom by choice. And yeah, just check them out. I'm excited. If you're considering becoming a single mom by choice, Single Mom Mindset program is forever going to be my baby, my love. It shows you everything from A to Z on your journey that you're going to need to become a happy, healthy, thriving single mom by choice. The two programs are really just going to go hand in hand. The Single Mom by Choice portion is kind of more about becoming the single mom. Okay, and we touch on things after a little bit too, but becoming the single mom by choice. And the new program, which I'm still waiting on the name, I've got some votes going on Instagram right now. But yeah, we're deciding on the name, the final name for the new one. But the new one is really about the after you become a single mom, or if you already are a single mom, and how to just up level every area of your life. So yeah, I think that's really everything I think that I wanted to touch on specifically about just being a single mom by choice, what to expect, and how you're gonna thrive as a solo mama, and how I'm excited for this journey for you. Yeah, big things are coming, really fun program. Yeah, I think that's everything. So comment, like, share, subscribe, and come back next week, and I'm getting a phone call just in time. Bye.